Hey, BillO'Reilly.com premium members, welcome to a special edition of the No Spin News. My final thoughts. So I instituted this, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago. And it's really caught on. A lot of you like it. I never know what I'm going to do until I wake up that day about the final thoughts. It's something that's running through my mind while I'm getting things done. I try to make it as natural and as relevant as possible. So they could be anything. So what we're doing while I'm off over the Christmas vacation is we're running some of these specials, and one of them is just a compilation. We've edited together a bunch of my final thoughts. So I hope you enjoy it. We'll keep this up for a few days so people can see it, spread the word. And here is BillO'Reilly's.com, No Spin News, final thoughts. Okay, here's my final thought of the day. There is an epidemic, as everyone knows, of addiction to the machines, all right? To this, and then the PCs, the personal computers, where you play your games. So the addiction is intense. It's a mental addiction, but it's on the minds of the users. This is on their minds, okay? When it's on your mind and you're compelled to pick this up or play your game, you're addicted. Here's the problem, and here's the warning. Teenagers need a lot of sleep. You're getting up in the middle of the night, and they're FaceTiming or Instagramming or whatever it may be, their friends under the covers in their room. And it's hours. And we're talking 2, 3 in the morning. Epidemic. Many parents and grandparents just do not know. You don't want to violate your kids' privacy, but they're doing it. And they're doing it in millions and millions and millions, and then in the morning they're out of it. They're zonked. When school starts, this brings down their grades. All right? It's the social interactions in the middle of the night everywhere. If you are a parent or grandparent, you've got to be vigilant about the machines. There've got to be rules. You say to the urchin, lights out, no computer. Take the computer out of the room. Take the machine out of the room. They squawk, too bad. This is so powerful. It's so powerful. You gotta regulate it. So I'm getting a lot of mail saying, look, is the country over? Is America done, traditional America? And in my opinion, it's not. But the media is so far left that it would, by reading and listening to the media, you would think it is done. You think it was all over. But the regular folks, throughout the country, I don't think they want socialism. I don't think they want crazy PC madness. I don't think they want witch hunts, denial of due process. I don't think they want those things. But it's going to take strong leadership to focus on the far left's danger to us all. I wish Donald Trump would concentrate more on that, the overall danger from his opposition, than the feuding. I wish he would segue into, these people are dangerous and here's why. If he does that, I think he'll have a better chance to win re-election. But for me, I think there's going to be some kind of an occurrence. It's always happened throughout history, and this country is going to veer to a more traditional posture. The media will never come back. But the media is losing influence everywhere. I do think, and I hope I see it in my lifetime, the country will come back to a traditional stance. I pray that happens. And praying is a traditional thing. So as I reported in the beginning of the program tonight, the AP lied in the second paragraph on the Ukrainian story. And they had to know it. It's not a mistake. They did it on purpose because the Associated Press despises Donald Trump. So if you are a Ten Commandments person, and fewer people on this planet are, you know that the wording goes like this: Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. So false witness means that you are trying to hurt a person, another human being, by what you say, which the Associated Press is trying to hurt Donald Trump by saying that Joe Biden didn't do anything in Ukraine. There's no evidence that he did anything. It's false. Not true. But how many times have you seen in your life people absolutely lie to hurt other people and or to get ahead, to get something? All right, so that's false witness to benefit you. So there's two prongs on the lie business. Benefit you, hurt your neighbor. In our culture, in public schools, the urchins don't hear, hey, don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal. They don't hear that because that's judgmental. Maybe you can interpret that stealing is necessary sometimes, and so is cheating, and certainly lying is. Don't hear it. Fewer and fewer Americans go to church, and when they do, the priests and the rabbis and the ministers, many of them are very confused. You don't know what they're talking about. They're not saying, hey, lying is a destructive act, and it's sweeping across our culture. Be good if we all stop that. When was the last time you heard that? I've never heard it. Maybe when I was 10. So it's disturbing me, these lies, because I've been a subject of them, and I know you have too in your life. Nothing we can do but point them out.
If you are over the age of 50, I have an important message for you. There's a true alternative to AARP, the liberal retirement group that lobbies in favor of progressive policies. For less than $20 a year, an AMAC membership gives you members-only pricing on car insurance, roadside assistance, discounts on hotels and travel, cell phone plans, discount dental plans, and on and on and on and on. So please join more than 1 million fellow Americans right now at amac.us. That's amac.us. And yes, I am a member. Visit amac.us, amac.us.
All right, so I try to teach, this is my final thought of the day. I try to teach loyalty. I try to teach it to my high school students, my own kids, my friends, and everything like that. If I believe you are a disloyal person, I do not associate with you. Loyalty is my number one, all right? And the reason is it's dying in America. It's dying. And it's dying because there's no I in loyalty. Now, blind loyalty is not good. So if you like somebody, you're friends with somebody, you're married to somebody, you vote for somebody, and they do something heinous, and they're not the person you thought they were, you got to recede. But there's got to be proof beyond a reasonable doubt for that. But if you are associated with a person through, you're related to them, or they're friends of yours, or whatever it may be, you owe them loyalty. You owe them honesty. You owe them fidelity. And now it's, this person, I don't need them anymore. I'm rising in my career, or I'm tired of them, or Loyalty is very important. You know why? Because it doesn't have anything to do with you, really. It's a characteristic, and I admire it very much. But it's about the other person. It's not about you. Again, no I in loyalty. So you are putting yourself out or giving your allegiance to another person. Now, I never expect anything back. I don't do the quid pro quo thing. All right, I'm not calling the Ukrainian president and asking for anything. If I like him and he was a friend of mine, I'd be loyal to him. I'm not expecting anything. Loyalty is so, so important. So important. And in the Bible, there's a lot about loyalty. Judas, the apostles kind of running away when Jesus got in trouble. Peter, no, I'm not with him. It's there for a reason. All right, so I was in Boston this weekend, as you know, and I had a great time. I love Boston. Boston's my second home. My parents met at St. Paul's Catholic Church in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And I went to 5 o'clock Mass there, and I took the urchin to see where his grandparents met. And then I showed him where I lived when I went to Harvard. And we kind of zoomed around, and then we went to the Harvest restaurant, best place in Cambridge. All right. And they gave us a free dessert They were happy to see us. I said, don't tell Elizabeth Warren. She lived like 3 blocks away. Had a great time in Malden, did the show. And then I was all over Boston. And at night, Saturday night, we went to see Steely Dan. I like Steely Dan. They've had about 7 or 8 commercial hits. They played 3 of them in a 2-hour set. You know, it's all because of the guy who runs the band. And I was gonna not, but I'm gonna too, because he knows better. He knows better. So Donald Fagen is the lead Steely Dan guy. His partner, Walter Becker, died of cancer in 2017. He didn't even mention Becker. While I was there, I left a little early because I couldn't really take it anymore. But he didn't even mention Becker, which was startling. The two met in college, Bard College. The band was one of the best I've ever heard. The Steely Dan band, unbelievable. Fabulous. But he wouldn't play any of his songs. He played stuff I never heard. The audience, they were hardcore Steely Dan people. They liked it. But for those who wanted to hear the hits, and you had 6 or 7 hits, you can play them in 2 hours and play the other stuff too. So my advice, if you're going to pay $100, $150 to see Steely Dan, is no, you're not going to get the hits. And for you, Mr. Fagen, bill your concert, Steely Dan, we don't play our hits. All right? Let's be upfront about it. Final thought of the day, if you're a sports fan, you know the New York Jets are terrible. They lost to the Miami Dolphins, who are terrible as well, on Sunday. And now the New York media is killing the coach, a man named Adam Gase. All right. Now, I've been a Jet fan since I was a little tyke. Joe Namath is a friend of mine, tremendous guy. I feel bad for the Jets. They can never really get it together. Haven't won a Super Bowl since 1969. And Adam Gase, I don't know him, but he's getting the hell kicked out of him. And so is a new quarterback, young guy named Sam Darnold. You know, piling on is really not an American thing. It really isn't. So, yeah, the Jets are in bad shape. And the coach is not doing a great job. We all know it. I don't think we have to beat the living daylights out of these people every hour on the hour, as the New York media is doing. That's piling on. Something sadistic about it. Don't pile on. State your case. We know they're bad. Nothing else you can do. Okay, so Prince Andrew now has been banished by the royal family. He can't do any public events. He can't say anything. He's on ice because he was friends with this Epstein. So what's the lesson here? The lesson is you got to choose your friends pretty carefully. Now, Epstein was bad from the jump. Everybody knew it. People hanging with him. You know, I mean, people don't change. I made that mistake when I was younger. I thought I could change people. You can't. They're bad, they're bad. Now, you can try to convert them. I mean, you can try to say, look, you know, you're on the fast lane of hell, and they're going to go, there's no such thing as hell. I can do what I want. But the people that you spend time with, if you know they're not good people, why are you doing that? Because they give you a free airline ride? Because they pick up a check? Don't do that. If you know people are bad, say, you don't have to confront them. But I got to tell you, I got a lot of good friends my whole life. A few of them have betrayed me. And all after I became famous. Before I became famous, nobody did. All right, I thought I was a great judge of character, but after I became famous, some people betrayed me for money, mostly. But if I know somebody's got a questionable character, not hanging. Give that advice to the urchins and carry you through life. Here's something interesting. Glenn Beck launched realestateagentsitrust.com for a very simple reason: to help you sell your home quickly and for top dollar. Selling or buying a home is very complicated and difficult to navigate, so they chose agents with a long track record of success. Market value for your home cannot be done by calculation. It just can't. It takes years of expertise to evaluate your market, to price your home, and to sell quickly for top dollar. Home sellers must genuinely like the agent they choose to trust their home to, and that's why Beck and his team select agents that are fans of his, like you are. So get moving with realestateagentsitrust.com. realestateagentsitrust.com. So here's the final thought of the day. Yesterday I told you about a 14-year-old girl in Van Nuys, California, Skye Torres, who needed to raise money for cancer treatment. She got a rare form of cancer, and get to Boston to the Dana-Farber Institute. So many of you went in and made donations, and now they have enough money. So they're going. Dana-Farber will treat Skye, only the third child to be treated for this kind of cancer in this experimental way. So now they need prayers. Skye Torres needs prayers. Okay, we got our goal of getting her and her family enough resources to have this treatment. So now we have to pray. GoFundMe page is still up there on her. Anyway, every time I do this, and I've done it a number of times over my career, every time you guys respond. I mean, I think we have the smartest, most generous audience in the world. And I don't have to push it. I just have to mention it. And know that we always check it out. Like the independencefund.org, I had a concierge member ask me, would I match his donation to get a wheelchair, high-tech wheelchair, to a severely disabled vet? I said, yeah, I will. That kind of stuff, you know? So we're real happy about helping the Torres family, and we're praying for Skye. 14 years old. I'm going to get rougher than that. Okay, final thought of the day. Here are the biggest selling Christmas music albums ever. Number one, Elvis. Elvis Christmas album sold 20 million copies. I've got a blue. Okay, sorry. Kenny G. Kenny G. All right, 7 million copies sold. Nat King Cole, best rendition of the Christmas song ever, 6 million. Mannheim Steamroller, 6 million. Josh Groban, 6 million. Mariah Carey, 5.5 million. Celine Dion, 5.5 million. Barbara Streisand. Isn't she Jewish? She likes Christmas. 5,400,000. Johnny Mathis, 5,200,000. Here are the best 2 Christmas music albums ever. Ready? Johnny Mathis. The guy is unbelievable. He's in his 80s now. He still hits the high notes. And the best Christmas album ever recorded. Carpenters. Karen Carpenter. Amazing voice. You want clarity in vocals? Amazing voice. My opinion, but it's my final thought, right? You won't go wrong with Mathis and the Carpenters. All right, final thought. My new book, Killing Crazy Horse, will be out in May 16th to be exact. And this is the 9th Killing book. We have one more under this contract, so it'll make 10, obviously. I can't tell you the name of the next one because somebody would steal it. But Killing Crazy Horse are already done. It's already written. We're editing now, put it in type. And it's an important book. They're all important. But if you really want to understand, and I mean understand, how the United States got to be the way it is, particularly if you live in the West or the South, and how the Indian Wars, which stemmed from the early 1800s to the late, we start with Andrew Jackson and the Creeks in Alabama, and we go all the way to Chief Joseph in Idaho. All right, and we cover all what happened. And we don't, obviously, you know this. It's there. It's there. Nobody knows it's what happened, and some of it is very unsettling on both sides. On both sides. And your head's going to snap back. And every president, I'll just give you one tidbit. The president most favorable to the Indians, U.S. Grant. But even he betrayed them. And then we have every Western character in there because they were all intersecting with this tremendous migration west by the Americans, the new Americans, who then came from Boston and New York and Philadelphia and Charleston, South Carolina, all the way to California. And then along the way, you had the gold, you had the Sooners in Oklahoma, and we got all of it. So I think the books have been successful, the most successful nonfiction book series of all time. 17 million copies of print. And this, I think, is going to be a huge bestseller because Americans want to know the truth about their country. That's what I do every day. But I'm glad I can do it in the history form. Now, if you extend your membership, buy a new membership, upgrade a concierge, whatever it may be, you can get Crazy Horse free, and you'll get it first. You get on the list. And as I said, it'll be out May 16th. So that was the final thought.